Do not trade Cleary and Papenhuyzen. I'll say it 2 more times. Do not trade them. They are keepers. Do not trade them. You've got the best player in the game in fantasy, Nathan Cleary. You've got either second or third best wing fullback. Please don't do it. Don't stress, guys. I know it is stressful, but don't stress. What we need to do is just set up your team, okay? So hopefully we have some cover, and if you don't, then it's going to be about trading some of the middle guys that you're not sure about. You know, people are asking me about Tino, asking me about Turpin, all these kind of guys. They're not going to be keepers, right? So if you really need to trade someone out to bring in someone to cover for Cleary or Papenhuyzen, then trade those guys, all right? But don't trade them out. You're going to want them back probably next week. I've seen, it's going to be the same story as with Crichton last week. Don't trade him out and then want to bring him back in next week, right? Injuries happen. You just start trading very regularly, and wasting trades on those guys isn't going to be good. What you need to do is just bring in some guys that are, a little bit cheaper. Maybe it means you have to play Avarillo this week. Whatever it is, just make sure that you are covered in the 17 positions and go from there. But that's all I want to say on that topic, guys. Just please hold steady on those guys and make sure you don't trade them out. Anyway, we're moving on to the people squad, and here we are. So coming into round 3, we're ranked 1,944. After this one trade that we've made, we have 103k of our salary remaining, which is really cool. So what we decided to do was trade Farmer-Silly out for Schuster. And because we have, unfortunately, Pap and Cleary in the People's team, then Schuster comes into the starting squad. And we'll play Schuster and Lamb this week. We were thinking about a couple of other trades, and you can obviously let me know if you think that maybe we should trade one of them. But I think just with a couple of the injuries, it might be smart to bank one trade this week because we're pretty safe and don't even have to play Avarillo, for example. So, we got Tex at the back there that can cover for the Pappy injury. The Pappy injury, and then we've got Schuster that can come straight in for Cleary. And other than that, the team looks pretty solid. I'm pretty sure we're either going Crichton or Brayley. At this stage, Crichton's ahead in terms of our voting system, but team's still set up okay. We've got Fulmanu as our cover on the bench there. We've got Turpin and Little for the hooker. We got Leniu as well in the mids along with Utokamanu. The team's fairly well set up to cover these injuries, and I think this week's just going to be about managing that and trying to sort of hold rank or close to it, and then with the 100k extra and banking a trade, we can launch from round 4 onwards, and just think it's obviously a long season. We've got the 20 odd more rounds to go and buy period and stuff to think about. So keeping these guys and then when you bring them back into your team this week, next week you're like, oh, beautiful, we've got 100k in the bank, couple of trades to use. Could trade Tino out if he doesn't go well again, but there's a chance this week he plays against Cowboys. There's every chance he scores a try. So pretty happy with how this team's set up for our people's team and ready to launch come round 4 onwards, and that's pretty much how I'm feeling with my team at the moment. I've decided to make 2 trades this week, but was really excited with how the team was going to look like until we had to have Cleary and Papenhuyzen not playing on the bench. But in terms of our money makers, everyone except for Avarillo is going to be making cash, interchange and emergencies at this stage. So really happy with how the team's looking. But I've decided to trade out both Tino and Lamb to upgrade to Fogarty. Obviously, the next few weeks, I think he's going to be scoring really well, but I think he's a keeper, and you can get him at a cut price at 668 there. And I decided to go him over Keary just because Keary's someone to me that, yes, he stepped up a little bit, but I don't see crazy amount of upside. He's always someone that's averaged in the mid-40s across his career. Yes, he wasn't the dominant half, and this allows him to, but he's also had 2 amazing games with 3 try assists in each, and I don't see that happening going forward. And with Fogarty being the dominant half in the Titans, this 34 was kind of helpful just to make sure his price didn't go up too far after he's 63 in the first game. So it hasn't had to do too much. He's got the goal kicking as an addition this year. Titans will be able to work it out and improve over the season. So I've decided to bring him in as a cut price keeper, which will be cool. Got guys like Croker, Utokamanu on the bench making some cash. We'll play Ricky and Leniu, and hopefully Spencer gets a few extra minutes. But happy with Alvaro being able to play him in the starting side this week. But the team doesn't look as sexy without Cleary and Pap in there. But we'll make this trade this week, and we've got 172k to upgrade someone next week or cover if there's an injury, for example. But yeah, that's where we're at currently, and we'll see what happens this week. Hopefully, can maintain the current rank of 7405, or possibly improve slightly, but I doubt that with our beautiful captain Cleary and Papenhuyzen out as well. So that's that one there. That's where the team's at. I was saying I was going to be ready to launch this week, but that's not going to happen, unfortunately. But 172k in the bank. We'll work there slowly. We'll make sure this team's set up really well, and then we'll save a few trades come sort of round 5, 6, 7. But there you go. That's where we're at with that one. And moving on to the alternates, and we've just decided to make the one trade with this one, and that's bringing in Schuster as well for our good man. Can't remember who we traded out. Our good man Davey. That's right. So had Davey as the injury, and that leaves us with 88k remaining again to make some better trades next week, and we decided to bank one trade given the fact we can cover this week. Don't have Cleary in this team, so you'd hope for a slightly improved score than what's going to happen in the other two teams. But yeah, so we got Twile, Crichton, and Fafita up top, which is cool for the keepers. Brooks should have a slightly easier game against a lesser opponent this week. I have to play Avarillo, but we'll see how Teddy, New, and Laurie goes, and then pretty strong interchange there with Linu there as a we don't better do the loop at all with these guys playing the earlier games. But there you go. That's where the alternates are set up. Obviously, you haven't ranked as well so far, and you can see what happens if you decide to change a few players as that starting side, and things don't go exactly as planned. But that's where we're at with that side, and looking for a pretty decent score with only Papenhuyzen out, and obviously having him out is a bit of an issue with all three of the teams holding him, but he's going to be a keeper come the end of the season, and I think it's smarter to make sure that he's next right before going on any further. So there you go, guys. That's the three teams, and just that reminder for Cleary and Pap, just to make sure you don't trade them out, guys. And if you're enjoying this content, please hit like and subscribe. Best way to support me in the channel, and I appreciate all your love and support so far. But we'll keep this going, and good luck this week. This will be the last video, and we'll see you through the week for the updates on all the games. Have fun, guys. See you later.